Hello friends, this video on whole numbers part 6 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. We will now learn about properties of whole numbers. So the main properties that we would discuss are closure, commutative, associative and distributive. So these are the four important properties of all whole numbers. So let us start with closure property. Now, what comes to your mind with the word closure? Closure is something from closed. It's something associated with closed. Now let's see what's closed in closure property. Now even before we discuss about this property, let us just try to add some whole numbers and observe the results. So let's say we take 5, we add 9 to 5. What do we get? We get 14. We take another whole number 0. We add 1002 to 0. What do we get? 1002. We take a whole number 510 and add to it 69,341 and we get 69,851. Let's say you take a whole number 67, add 0 to it, you get 67. You add 0 and 1, you get 1. You add 0 plus 0, you get 0. So you see, we have taken variety of whole numbers starting from 0, 1, bigger numbers, and whenever we added them, what did we observe? That the result that we obtained is also a whole number, whether it is 14 or it is 1002 or it is 69,002 or it is 67, 1 or 0. All of them are also whole numbers. So the conclusion was that whole numbers are closed under addition. What do we mean by closed? Closed means, let's say if whole number, all the whole numbers form a community. So when they get added up, they stay within their community. So they basically are closed within their community. So if this is the community of whole numbers, so when they are added amongst themselves, they still are whole numbers. So they are still closed within their community. So that is what is meant by closure property. Now this closure property is true for addition, because when we add whole numbers, we get whole numbers. Now we will try to see whether this closure property holds true for subtraction, multiplication and division as well or not. So let us try to subtract whole numbers and see. Now let's say we take 16, subtract 9 from it. We get 7, which is a whole number. 1 minus 0 is 1, which is again a whole number. 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, which is again a whole number. So do you think that closure property is true for subtraction as well? You might think yes. But let me give you some more examples before you reach to conclusion. 25 minus 15 is 10, which is a whole number. What about 15 minus 25? If I ask you to subtract a bigger number from a smaller number, so it is the same scenario where you have only 15 rupees, but you want to buy something which costs 25 rupees and therefore you borrow 10 rupees from the shopkeeper and then buy it. So what happens? Your net balance goes to negative. So basically 15 minus 25 is not 10 but minus 10. Do you think minus 10 is a whole number? No, this is not a whole number. Similarly, 8 minus 10, what it would be? It would again be minus 2. So whenever you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, the result is always a negative number. And negative numbers do not fall under the category of whole numbers. Right? So negative numbers are not whole numbers. So then what do we conclude? We conclude that whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. So they are closed under addition, but they are not closed under subtraction. So during subtraction, the result can be whole number. The result can also be something other than whole numbers. Let's have a look at multiplication. So we will multiply some whole numbers. So 9 into 8 gives 72. 18 into 1 gives 18. Let's say 890 into 0. Anything multiplied by 0 gives 0. Do you know why? Because whenever we say that something is multiplied by something, we basically mean to say, let's say when we say 9 is multiplied by 8, that means 9 is added 8 times. That is the meaning of it. That we are actually adding 9 for how many times? For 8 times. That's the meaning of 9 into 8. Now when you say 890 into 0, what do you actually mean? That 890 is added 0 times. That means basically 890 is not at all added. Now when you have not added 890 at all, so what will be the result? The result will definitely be 0. So you multiply any number with 0, the result would always be 0. So in this case, again you observe that the result is always a whole number. So the conclusion here again is whole numbers are closed under multiplication. So whenever you multiply any two whole numbers, the result must be a whole number. So now we are left with the last operation, that is division. So for this also we will divide a few whole numbers. Let's say 8 divided by 5. What would the result be? 8 by 5. Think about it. So it is something like 8 by 5. Think about this. 16 divided by 8. What it would be? This would be 2 because 8 is a 16. 10 divided by 1. This would be 10. 10 divided by 0. Now when you multiply 0 to any number, it becomes 0. But when you divide 0 to any number, the result is not defined. So we actually cannot define the result. So the result here becomes not defined, which is not a whole number. In the first scenario, the result 8 by 5. This is a fraction. Do you think it is a whole number? This is not a whole number because 8 is not divisible by 5. So this is again not a whole number. Right? So when you divide 8 by 5, this is what you get. You can write it as 1, 3 by 5, which is again not a whole number. If you want, you can write it in decimals. So you can write it as 1.6, which is again not a whole number. So basically the result of division is not always a whole number. So whole numbers again are not closed under division. So out of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, we see that addition and multiplication are closed, whereas division and subtraction are not closed. So the closure property holds true for addition and multiplication. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.